Hello, I'm Beck. Welcome to my channel. Today I'll be drawing some cats. And the reason I'm drawing them is because I've been in a little bit of a creative slump lately, and I really just wanted to shake away the cobwebs and draw something that kinda comes naturally to me. So if you're an artist, you probably know this feeling of like not knowing what to draw and fear of the blank page, and maybe you've been drawing consistently for a while and one day you wake up and it just isn't coming, and that can be really distressing, and especially when you associate a lot of your personality to being a creative person and suddenly you can't tap into that creative well. I've been experiencing a little bit of that. And so I decided, instead of doing one of my videos where I do a fully polished artistic piece, that I would just show you my sort of sketchy process. Usually I'd sketch in my bullet journal, but it's harder to show you that because when I'm sketching in my bullet journal, I'm on the sofa. I'm not usually in a position where I can set up a camera to record what I'm doing. Yeah, so I like to draw cats, partially because I have cats and I can do a lot of the look at their cute little position and trying to capture that position. Also, I don't know if you're familiar with this concept, but cats are liquid, so cats get into very strange positions, and you can basically draw any shape and give it a cat's face, and that's what the cat could be doing. So their bodies are very forgiving in terms of whether or not you've drawn them correctly. My cats in particular like to take on positions where, if I draw them accurately, a person looking at that piece might be like, that's not right, you don't understand how a cat's spine works. But au contraire, that is what they were doing. Cats be weird. Yeah. Even though this was something where I was trying to just keep it loose and just sort of do doodling, I wanted to try and capture various poses for cats. Like, I still wanted to challenge myself. The first pose I did was the one that I will default to if I'm drawing a cat, just the sort of like curled up little loaf sleepy shape. But yeah, I wanted to capture cats doing various things, like sitting up to look at things or playing with a thing that's on the ground. And I don't usually draw those, so obviously here you can see I'm sort of fiddling with like how its leg is and stuff like that. Normally, if you watch my other videos, you'll see that when I'm drawing digitally, I usually like to do like a green pencil sketch before I do my final line work. But again, this is just an exercise in brushing off cobwebs. So this is just a little bit of fun. It's not supposed to be like a final amazing polished piece that, I share on my Instagram and really like, look at me. Not that I really do that with any of my artwork, but this one in particular that I'm drawing now is my cat Poppy. She loves to lie on her back like this and just legs in the air like she just don't care. So if anyone's wondering why I draw the ears on this particular cat in a strange way, it's because Poppy is a Scottish fold, which means she has folded ears. And it makes her look a little bit like an owl crossed with a teddy bear. I primarily got both of my cats from a breeder, which, it's that like adopt, don't shop mentality, but I needed cats that had a particular temperament because I live in an apartment. And just like dogs, different breeds of cats have very different temperaments, and most cats need a lot more space to run around. They need to be able to like go outside even if it's in a cat enclosure. Or they'll go a little bit crazy and they'll just destroy all your furniture and they'll crawl up the walls. Scottish folds, and Panda is a Scottish Shorthair, or a straight as they call them, because her ears didn't fold over, but she is of the Scottish fold breed. You can look into that. You can Google that. I won't get into the details of the Scottish Fold breeding processes, but basically their temperament is well known as being very chill and preferring small spaces. And so if they're in too big of an environment, they tend to get very stressed out. So they don't really like to be outside in the big, wide outdoors. They like to be inside and have cuddles and just basically be a pampered house cat, which is exactly what I was looking for. And yeah, Poppy and Pen have very different personalities, but I love them both dearly. I do feel like I got better as I progressed from cat to cat. So like each sketch I improved a little bit. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm trying to justify drawing a bunch of different cats and saying like the more you practice, the better you get. But it is kind of a thing of like when you do anything, you kind of need to warm up first. So this is kind of a warm-up process, I suppose. I am actually really proud of how they all turned out. I might put them on my Patreon as just like a singular sticker page or something like that if you're interested. I will go in a minute and color them in with watercolors. I really like this stupid little pose. I love it so much. It's like a little kid or something playing with toys. But yeah, Poppy does sit like that as well. So they do very cute poses. And I don't have dogs, but I'm sure when I do have dogs, because I love dogs as well, I will be drawing a lot more dogs because I get inspired by the things that are around me. So probably in terms of the things I draw the most in my bullet journal or my sketchbook is cats and cups of coffee and various types of food, whatever I happen to have been eating that day. A lot of it is because in my bullet journal I'm also like journaling, so keeping it like a diary, sort of saying here is what I did today, here is how I'm feeling, here are the things that are on my mind. And if I'm feeling a little bit lost for words, I'll be like, here is what I ate, here's the picture of the thing that I ate. So very intriguing stuff, but the point is not for anyone to care about it or to read it. The point is for me to have a record of my life so that when I look back on it one day, I can remember feeling that way. I can probably remember even eating that thing. I have a strange association in my brain of like, some people will say, oh, what was I wearing at this event? And then that helps them remember being at the event. I don't have that. I need to know like what food was served at an event, and then I can remember sitting and eating it, probably because I take a very long time to eat, so I would have spent a long time looking at the food. But like once I can mentally place myself eating whatever food, then I remember all of the important information about the event, like conversations had, people that I met, music that was playing, dancing that happened, you know, the stuff that you should just remember. My brain doesn't work that way. My brain is weird. So, yeah, I have strong associations mentally connecting to food, except obviously in the day-to-day where I have like repetitive food, so it's kind of hard to remember. But that's why it's good to change up what you have for lunch every day, stuff like that. I've gone off on a tangent. Yeah, now I'm just sort of cleaning up you can see what I'm doing. I don't really need to articulate that I'm cleaning up the line work here. You can see that. I think at this point I had decided that I wanted to finish the doodles. I wanted to like make them something rather than just a drawing exercise. So I went in here and I'm going to use a watercolory pen. I hadn't really done a lot of watercolor style in Procreate. It's very weird to call it that because for me, the main thing that makes watercolor like different from acrylic paint or crayon or pencil or anything like that is that you're putting down a liquid and then the pigments from the watercolor seeps in to one another, so you get this like washy effect. You obviously can't do that when it's a digital pen. So like, I guess this is as close as it can come to being a watercolor look. I kept it very loose and sketchy. Like obviously I'm going outside of the lines and I don't think I end up cleaning it up that much because I wanted it to look very like, home homemade, very authentic to, like, if I had done this with actual watercolor and I was going over like a watercolor proof pen, it would seep outside the lines and it would create this sort of like unpolished effect that, I don't know, makes it feel more authentic, makes it feel more like having a soul. I can't articulate what I'm trying to say here, but I think maybe you get what I mean. Like, if it's too polished, then it's obvious that it's not done by hand. Even though this is done by hand, it's just done digitally by hand. Yeah, I can't articulate what I'm trying to say. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. If you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe also let me know in the comments. Just be like, Beck, you don't know how to use words. Just stop. Actually, don't say that because I'll be really sad about it. But hopefully you get what I mean. Like, it looks more artsy, I guess. More artsy if it's going outside the lines a little bit and smushing colors together, and yeah. Do you think this looks like a watercolor though? Like, I like the effect of this Procreate brush, but I wouldn't, if I was guessing, I wouldn't call it watercolor. I don't know what I would call it, but like, it's a nice brush and I like the effect that it has. I just don't know that I would call it watercolor. Now, considering I started this feeling like I couldn't draw anything and everything I made was bad, I think these came out really well. And this is actually future Beck recording. I did end up making this into sticker sheets. I made one that was black and white and one that has these colors, and I did it so that you get quite a few per page, including kind of like a tape at the bottom. You can see what I'm talking about. It's on the screen now. If you're interested, head over to my Patreon. You don't have to subscribe to buy sticker sheets. You can just do a one-off purchase, but if you do subscribe, certain tiers will get you access to like the full range of sticker sheets. So yeah, enjoy. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and if you're feeling any creative slump, sometimes just doodling whatever, no pressure, is the answer. So let me know if you try that out and it works for you.